Humaning. Nobody hands you the manual for this part. You land in a body. You inherit a nervous system. You absorb the rules, the roles, the expectations. And before you even know who you are, you're already running someone else's script. Most people never question it. They just loop. Same thoughts, same reactions, same patterns, same fear dressed up as logic, same self-betrayal they call being easygoing, same shrinking to make the world more comfortable. I know this because this was me. For years, I lived small. I lived compressed. I lived from memory instead of truth. And I didn't even realize it because the loop felt like me. But it wasn't. It was conditioning dressed up as me. And the tower fell. Something ancient, something cellular, something older than this life came online. A reminder so clear. Frequency. I'm a light being in a human body. Act like it. Truth frequency. Light isn't out there. It's the part of you that knows, the part that sees, the part that stays steady when everything around you is collapsing. The part that remembers the bigger story, your DNA. Your DNA has been trying to tell you since you arrived here. This book is me walking that story, page by page, truth by truth, break by break, rebuild by rebuild. This book is a map I wish I had. It could have helped me excavate from the inside. It could have helped regulate my nervous system faster. It could have helped soften the heartbreaks, soften the initiations, soften the remembering process. But that wasn't my journey. It's not what I chose. I'm here as a lighthouse, a beacon for something different to be possible, if different is what you so choose. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm not here to sell you a 7-step belief system. I'm not here to preach. I'm inviting you to not even believe me, but to just perceive me. I'm here offering my lived experience, raw, unedited, unfiltered. Feel the resonance. Let your body decide what lands. Take what activates you, leave what doesn't. But don't ignore the part of you that reacts, because that's the part that's waking up. I'm not disturbing something inside of you that's not already disturbed. I'm an invitation in. This book isn't gentle, but it's honest. It will shake you. It will call you out. It will call you forward. It will unmask the parts of you that learn to stay quiet, agreeable, small, predictable. And then it will initiate you into something real. Your own intelligence, your own clarity, your own coherence, your own authority, your own light. Inner light awakened, embodied. This is my journey, but it's also the one every human eventually hits because we're all operating at varying degrees of separation in the same fashion. When the old life stops fitting and the real self refuses to stay underground, this book will arrive. You don't have to be ready, but you have to be honest. Radical honesty and accountability is what's needed. Because once truth cracks open, there's no going back to who you were. You can't go back. You wouldn't want to. So take a breath. Drop into your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw. You're entering the part of your life where you stop repeating and you start creating. Where you stop looping and you start living. Where you stop being who the world taught you to be and you start being who you actually are. Because authenticity will set you free. Are you ready? It's go time.
Yo. Pay attention. Pay attention. Paying attention. Have you ever thought about why those two go hand in hand? Attention is your most precious commodity, currency, the most precious currency you have. Everyone is vying for it. And I've said this before, and I'm going to expand on it as well as a couple other things. So, what you focus on expands. What you focus on, what you observe, creates reality. The field that exists, that is us, that is this plane of existence, is infinite potentials in wave form. And until you view the wave, once you view the wave, it collapses into form. The double slit experiment, if you want to learn more about that. So the observer makes it so. You are the observer. You are the chooser. You are the creator as well. Attention. Consciousness. Consciousness is the field. All possibilities that exist. Your awareness is like a window. Your awareness is like a window. Depending on your level of awareness, depends on how big that window is going to be. Your attention is the spotlight, is the focus. What are you focusing on through that window? What are you choosing to observe? As well as what your body is able to, depending on how regulated your nervous system is. When you're dysregulated, stressed out, the window shrinks. You can't see a lot. When you're regulated, the window expands. When you sit with your breath, you gift your body deep breath, not shallow breath in the lungs, deep belly breath. Breathe in the belly. Feels weird at first, but it becomes more natural. And then it becomes your resting state as you practice. So, what is being the glitch in the matrix? What does that even mean? What the hell's the matrix? The matrix is matrix. We have many matrices. Systems are matrices. The ones creating the systems are the ones that understand how the matrix works. Then there's those following the systems. What does be the glitch mean? What does be the black cat mean? Does it mean be the black cat? It means see the black cat. When you see the black cat, you see the program in the matrix. Neo sees the cat. And then he sees it again. And he realizes he's in a program. And it's not real. He's the only thing that is real. His awareness. What he's choosing to focus on. What he's choosing to see. What he's choosing to believe. Questioning the systems is becoming the glitch. Group think makes it so. So this and that can be true depending on how many people are focusing and thinking about a thing. So that's how timelines are created. Enough people are thinking and focusing on this being it. That's the timeline. Being the glitch is stepping off the timeline, stepping out of the perceived true path, the one path, the normal path. That's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about being the glitch. It's stepping off the timeline that everyone else is on, questioning everything. And not questioning everything just to be the devil's advocate. It's discerning everything. How does that feel in my body? Is that true for me? All truths aren't unanimously true for all. We all have different lenses, different vibrational energies, different fields of existence. And when you can tune into your body, you can expand your awareness, expand your field, expand your perception. You see more. When you're contracted, stressed, hyper-focused, control-minded, linear-minded, no room for flow exists. You're pushing against yourself. What you resist persists. What you're pushing against, what you're focusing on expands. So when you're focusing on the problem grows. When you're thinking outside of the box, how can I see this a different way? That's when the problem shifts. It's no longer a problem. It's a navigation point, a tool of expansion for the soul. We incarnated on this my throat chakra likes to pop off when I really start speaking truth. My truth. I'm inviting you not to believe me, but to just perceive me. How does what I'm saying feel in your body? If it resonates, amazing. If it doesn't, swipe. It's okay. I'm not for everyone. Where I'm at might not be where you're at, but there's going to be nuggets beneficial for your human to play with, to water, to foster growth later. So we incarnate into this plane and we sign up for amnesia. Were the chromosomes fused for sinister reasons, or was that part of the game, part of the process of incarnation? The fusing created, I believe, the subconsciousness. The fusing created the dormant DNA, which I believe goes hand in hand with the subconsciousness. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. That's just my thought. I haven't heard anybody expand on that. It's just what I think. What I feel to be true for me. And that's all that matters, is what I feel to be true. And I'm leading with a lens of love. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm not judging anybody. I'm in my lane, operating at my capacity. And I'm just a beacon, a lighthouse for something different to be possible if different is what you choose. If you want to be the glitch, if you want to step off the timeline, if your timeline isn't a timeline you particularly enjoy right now, if there's a lot of roadblocks, which are just navigation points showing you you're not listening to your true self. So we incarnate into subconsciousness. because it's the journey of remembering that evolves the soul, and soul evolution is the name of the game. That's the object of the game, is to go through the lessons, learn through them, evolve the soul, higher levels of awareness, consciousness, blend back in with source. I don't know. So source is pure consciousness. And we've got this plane here that's got matter, material focused. I was looking at the world card yesterday in my video, and it's the Ouroboros around the human. The human's rising through the Ouroboros, which is through the loop. The Ouroboros is the snake eating its tail, signifying the loop of this plane. The reincarnation, the unconscious, the subconscious reincarnation loop, filled with karmic overlays and patterns that we just keep repeating because we're not evolving and learning through them and letting them go. We're repeating patterns. That's another part of the glitch in the cat. It's the pattern repeating itself. You see the cat, and then you see the cat again, and then you see the cat again. Just like in your life, the same things just keep repeating themselves. The same stories, the same problems with different people, different octaves. You're the common denominator, though. You got to change the pattern, change the belief, change the habit. You have to change yourself. You have to get radically honest and take accountability for where you sit right now, because you are the chooser. No matter what's happened to you, life is heavy and dense and demented on this plane. However, it's mental to think, but we chose all of these lessons for the growth that it would gift our soul in the evolution process, in the evolutionary process. And so the Ouroboros, the loop, the golden ratio, the infinity loop, the Ouroboros, it's all loop. It's all a closed loop system. It's time-bound system on this earthly plane. This earthly plane, this 3D plane, is time-bound. I think 4D is a little bit, but then as you get up into the different dimensions, the time dissipates. Time isn't real. Time only has something to do with gravity of this plane. As you get further away from it, the time is different. The closer to a black hole you get, watch Interstellar. It's epic. Really good. It really opened my mind up. So, squirrel. Come back to your center. Breathe. Find yourself. Feel your body. That's how you stay present in this moment. And that's how you stay out of loops, out of the subconscious autopilot. We incarnated. We chose this. 95% subconscious autopilot looping human operating, only 5% consciously, typically, until you can start excavating the subconscious, till you start illuminating the subconscious, until it's only 80%, 70%, and the human's 30% conscious and greater, until you're 100% consciousness, which is source. So I don't know what that looks like. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is this now moment. You are the chooser. The reality that you're sitting in, you chose. Your frequency creates your reality. What you're resonating at attracts. Like attracts like. So you're resonating at what surrounds you. So you have to resonate at a different frequency to attract different surroundings, to attract a different life, to attract a different reality. That is what you desire. But you have to embody it. You have to feel it to attract it. Thinking about it, manifesting, means you're not it. Means you're reaching outside of yourself. What it comes down to is feeling love. You are love, being love, happiness and wholeness in whatever way, shape, or form you can grab onto, in whatever your reality looks like right now. Sometimes it looks like it's difficult to grab onto anything. But when you can find the silver linings, that is something I've held onto my entire life, and why I've been able to remain positive. But I don't mean toxically positive, like I'm pretending that things don't exist or spiritually bypassing things. It just means that I'm maintaining a certain level of frequency where I know I am the creator and I know I create this and I know there's a silver lining in everything. And when you can find that silver lining, it's the spark of joy that exists within you. And when you can tap into that joy for what's around you right now in whatever form, the happiness for the cup of tea, the happiness for the walk with the rain falling on your skin, the happiness that you can walk, that you can get out of bed without assistance. There's always something to be grateful of, no matter what. And to know that right now in this moment is temporary and it's not how it has to remain. You just got to change yourself. You've got to release the ego, release the overlays, the patterns, the ones that create the matrices of this existence. Understand how it works and understand how to talk to the people. Marketing. Marketing is the control mechanism of this plane. Programming, television, movies, societal programming at its finest, social conditioning. Conditioning the humans in the way that they want because it's easier to control a human when they're conditioned to believe a certain way. When they start thinking for themselves, when they start believing that curiosity didn't kill the cat, it made the cat even greater. And you understand that you can remove the overlays. You can activate the dormant DNA, which is just intron potential. The 95% junk DNA that science used to call junk is intron potential, waiting to be activated. Codes waiting to be turned on. The epigenetic layer is the layer above the gene that tells the genes how to express themselves. How it tells the genes what you're going to be like. And it's controlled by the ancestral overlays, controlled by the societal. It's controlled by environment and emotions. When we can excavate the subconscious, which means 0 to 7, you were in a theta brainwave state, downloading a sponge. You're a sponge, absorbing the entire world around you, not consciously choosing those beliefs, those patterns, those habits, those stories. You were just absorbing them from everybody around you, depending on if they had good habits or less than favorable habits, if they had beliefs that were empowering or beliefs that were disempowering. Assume, Tony Robbins said this, assume meanings in life that empower you instead of assuming the meanings that disempower you. You have the choice. You are the meaning-making machine. Humans are meaning-making machines. We make meaning out of everything. So choose a meaning that inspires you, empowers you, not one that cuts you down, not one that judges you, not one that degrades you. You got to talk to yourself better. You got to be more kind to yourself. Love yourself. You are your superpower, and authenticity will set you free. And authenticity becomes easier when you're removing the overlays of what everyone else's beliefs were and stories were about what was true, what earning money looked like, what having money was like. Is money the root of all evil? Or is the more money you have, the more you can do in this world, the more you can help? Are you gaining money because you want just to accumulate things and be selfish and self-absorbed and self-centered? Or do you want to be accumulating money so you can be a contributing human to this plane and help it thrive and grow? If you're in service to self over service to others, that's where your reality will shift. No amount of money will ever make you happy if the intention behind it isn't coming from love. If it's coming from fear, hoarding, like you'll never have enough. That's why you're hoarding so much. Fear contracts. Your awareness, your window shrinks. What you can see disappears. Your system becomes dysregulated. No amount of money doesn't buy happiness. Happiness comes from within, not without. This material plane doesn't provide happiness. Happiness is already within you. You have to feel it by being grateful for life. Sometimes that's not easy, but it gets easier the more you practice it. It's why you can see people who had so much devastation happen to them in this world, and they're living it, just living it up, because they understand that. They understand that it comes from within, not without. that it doesn't matter what someone else thinks about you, that it doesn't matter what someone else is saying or judging you, because they're really just judging themselves. Whatever it is about you that's triggering them is already a part that's disturbed within them that they can't look at. Our shadow self are parts of ourself that we've disowned. Being big, being bold, being brave, showing up as we are, dressing however, doing, being you. But humiliation and judgment, fear, how it constricts us, and we start pushing things down that we don't want to see, and then we start falling into line with normal. And this is acceptable, and if I just do this, then I won't stand out, then people won't make fun of me. But then you're not living you. You're not being authentic. And when you're not living your truth and living authentically, you can't rise to your full potential because you're living someone else's dream. And it's not a dream, it becomes a nightmare because you're a prisoner in your mind. The mind is the biggest prison of all. And you're the warden. You're the lock and the key. You're the map and the compass. Your heart is the guide. Your intuition, your gut, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, source. You're always being guided and illuminated to remember, because that was the point of this whole game, was to remember you are source, remember your soul self, remember that you are limitless potential, but you're in a suit, carbon-coated vessel of light. Plasma. This entire plane is plasma. It's all plasma. That's another thing that came from watching Interstellar, the ionosphere, my ionosphere knowledge, atmospheric knowledge. But I had to research it. Just a question that came to my mind. And that plasma origins, something to do with that. And that the plasma that coats this entire Earth, that is protecting us, it's the electrons, protons, neutrons. The sun heats it up, and then they separate, and then it cools down, and they come back together, and it expands and contracts. It's like the heartbeat, like our heartbeat. When you understand that what makes up this plane, this entire Earth, air, fire, water, ether, plasma, neutrons, protons, electrons, light, you are made up of all of those things also. That's our chemistry, that's our physiology, biology. And that everything is mental, but nothing is outside of you. All these distortions, it stems from the law of one. The law of one. Madame Blavatsky, Theosophy, she was trying to create this law of one. And then all the other religions, they decided to pick and choose pieces of the law of one, create their commandments or whatever, the Hermetic principles or the Emerald tablets. They all stem from the law of one. But then the human got involved. It became his story, history, his story, their truth. There isn't one truth other than we are all one. There's nothing separate about us. And we're all love. One is in love. One love. Bob Marley. It's amazing. And when you understand that what it comes down to is being true to you, questioning, is this a belief that I chose, or did I inherit this belief? Do I still believe it? Is it serving me, or is it not serving me? Do I want to let it go? It's your choice. Do you want to let it go? Every breath, every step, the 0 point field, the moment in time before the wave collapses and forms created. The choice point. Every choice you make, that's the only free will we have. What choice do you make? What path are you going to follow? The one that everyone's traveling, or the path less traveled, which leads you to your authentic self? Highest potential, highest timeline, infinite, boundless abundance, joy, peace, love, prosperity. And when you're emanating and exuding that, the ripple effect ripples into the ether, into the rest of the world. Others see you lighting up, see you walking your truth, and then they want to do it too because that looks like it feels good. Instead of everyone corralling around the fear mindset and complaining about the disasters, focusing on the devastation, what can we do to shift our mindset, to change? This is the awareness spiral. It is the world that connects us. But what we can start with is changing our stories and our patterns and start walking our authentic path, because authenticity will set us all free. When you rise, we rise. When I rise, you rise. It's proximity. It's quantum entanglement. We are not separate. That is a distortion. We're all connected. So when we pick up a piece of trash, when we smile at a stranger, when we smile at ourselves, when we wake up and say, I'm choosing this. I'm here in my body, grounded, not fight or flight, not automatic looping. The window is big and bright and I can see a lot of things. And what am I choosing to focus on? What do I choose to focus my attention on? That's your choice. And that, I think, is where I'm going to leave this. I'm going to sit for a second and breathe and invite you to breathe with me, because I just dropped a lot of information. And I'm going to keep repeating, and I'm going to keep coming back with more, and I'm going to keep repeating, because repetition is what creates change. Neurons that fire together wire together. You've created the life that you have through repetition. Exiting the repetitive loop takes effort, willpower, brain power, courage. Mother effing courage. You got to tap into courage to exit the loop. The loop. Where are you going once you exited the loop? Loop is the time-bound existence, which isn't bad. We need time on this plane, but we don't need to be confined by it. It helps us schedules, catch ferries, schools, education, all these systems, all these little matrices. Are you blindly following things? Or are you questioning things and feeling how you feel about them in your body? We need the time, but we don't need to be so linear. That's what I'm trying to get at here. We need to move with nature. 13 moons, there needs to be 13 months, there needs to be 28 days, the 28th phase of the moon. Not 30 days, not 31, not sometimes 28. We need to get back to the 13-month year, lunar year. We need to start moving in 28 days. Sorry for the ones that have birthdays on the other days. I'm sure there's a way to figure that out. But when we can move with the cyclical nature of this planet and get out of the disconnection from it, that is these linear systems, the Gregorian that was base 12, and then it came base 10. We had the 13 months, we had the 28 days. And then there was one day of pause, because the moon voids course. So it was July 25th, I believe. It was the Mayans. I can't remember. But this used to be the way the world operated long ago, when we were in connection with the nature of this plane. But as we've evolved, we've disconnected further. The Lemurians, the Atlanteans. The Lemurians didn't like the body. They didn't like the density. They were heart-centered, unity. But they disappeared, I think, because they didn't, something about the body. And then the Atlanteans were all about the mind, and it disconnected them from their heart. We are the golden humans that are bridging what the Lemurians and the Atlanteans couldn't do. Embodiment through the heart with Gaia. We are this plane. This plane is us. And when we can work with it, we can really rise. I love you. Peace.